What is up, everybody? This is video number 2, I guess. Today we'll be taking all these parts that are loaded in the back over to my coworker's shop up in Crosby, Texas. He also has a YouTube channel. I'll link it down below. It's at Just Can't Sit Still. He does a lot of LT builds and some LS builds that are on camera. So I'll link his channel down in the description, but I'll pick you guys back up when we get up there and get ready to get everything out. All right, we have made it to Crosby, and for those who don't, current state of my old motor, my LED. So we're gonna get it pulled out of the way, and I'm gonna start stripping all the parts that I'm keeping, like my timing cover, that harness, my coil packs, my valve covers, all my sensors, vacuum pump plate, and yeah, I'll pick y'all back up whenever I get all that done. So we got the motor moved. I've pulled the oil pan off, which I still gotta clean. All that metal that's in there is from whenever I spun the bearing. So there's the whole thing, windage tray, and the whole pan is just full of metal. So good times. That is coming back to the house with me to clean out. But this is the damage. I don't know how well the camera picks it up, but that is for pistons 1 and 2, or cylinders 1 and 2. The rest of them look decent, good enough to run, but this one's toast. It would have to be cleaned and repolished by a machine shop, but that's a later date issue. So as for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and take all the goodies I'm keeping, like that vacuum pump plate, timing cover, my valve covers, my knock sensors, my motor mount bolts, ground bolt. I forgot what that bolt goes to. It's been too long, but yeah, this motor drove 11 miles or whatever it was. So SBE, so just top end build. But yeah, next one should be a whole lot better. So just finished stripping this motor of everything I'm reusing, all the miscellaneous bolts and whatnot, vacuum pump plate cover from ICT, motor mounts. Went ahead and pulled the heads off. Only had 2 bolts in each one holding it on. Still somewhat clean, but does have metal really in every crevice of it from when we spun. They do already have 660 springs, so, but there's metal literally all throughout this motor. So cylinder walls still look fine, but still metal. Literally everywhere, all the way down to the cam bearings. There's metal on each part. So it needs to be professionally cleaned out, probably rehoned. Crank needs to be polished and rebalanced, but yeah, that's as it sits, and this is everything that we're gonna reuse and put onto this new motor. All right, guys, so since I last picked up the camera, we got the old motor all stripped down. That's everything I'm gonna reuse on the new one. Got the back of the truck unloaded and reloaded. So we got the old motor just stuffed back in here with empty guts, no pistons, no rods. It has a crank, no front cover, no valley cover, no valve covers, no intake, nothing. It's, you know, as it was, just put together and reassembled on the TSP stands and all that. OEM flex plate, all that good stuff. Now I got all my parts laid over in his project truck, just all on that side, PRC heads, injectors, everything from here to there. TSP short block is over here now. So let me move these out of the way. So TSP short block with my Wisco pistons, Compstar rods, I think. GM wet sump crank, but they forgot to include the dials for the cylinder heads and my lower timing gear or sprocket, whatever you want to call it, that goes on the crank. So I had to send an email to try to get that shipped. So that's holding us back from starting on it, but should be started. I need to order some new LSX DoD plugs because the ones that TSP provided won't fit with the valley cover I'm running. So, but yeah, that's about it. That wraps up this video of the drop off and pick up the old motor. So this guy will go sit in storage for a little bit until it gets time to mess with it again. So, but yeah, that's it. All right, so I just made it back from my coworker's shop and felt like pulling the windage tray off of the oil pan, and this is what I find from spinning the bearings for. So we'll just shine a light in there. Just caked up metal all across the bottom. This is the first time I've pulled it off, and this motor's been out of the truck for I think the last 2.5 months. So, but yeah, whole oil pan is just caked in metal shavings and gunk. And then I went ahead and put the OEM motor, the L86, back to stock. So put it all together, wrapped it up. This will be a fun little toy here in a couple years. But yeah, DoD cam, old K-Tech oil pump I was running, factory timing cover, L86 valve covers with the original coils, DoD valley cover. I think I just said that, but timing cover, valley cover, L86 manifold and throttle body. And then I just wrapped it just for security reasons, but did put the old flex plate on. So I do still have the harmonic balancer, but we won't be using that. I'll just put that in storage with this thing. But figured since I had a couple things going, I should pick up the camera and show. But that's it.